I've turned into the strongest Minecraft god Notch, and I have to survive for 100 days. This may seem really easy, but things instantly get crazy. Yeah, so on day 1, I go and wake up from my bed. Okay, this view is kind of swag. It seemed like a normal morning until suddenly an earthquake began to happen. That was Herobrine, and he could destroy everything. I knew if I wanted to go stop him, I had to get out the temple. I go and run out the bedroom, down into a hallway that leads me to the entrance, and could feel the earthquake getting stronger. I need to get out and fight him now. I keep running until I finally make it outside of the temple, but things only get worse. Where is he? Wait, no, it's gonna I woke up and saw the temple was destroyed. I had no food, no home, and was completely upset. It's only day 1. I go and leave the area and encountered a zombie. Wait, what's this? Whoa. At that moment, I knew I unlocked lightning powers. And it turns out I unlock a new power every 20 days, so how powerful will I be? The problem now, though, is we basically had nothing and was very low, so we had to abandon the temple. We definitely needed new tools, so I went and broke a few trees, harvested a few apples, and finally got off that dangerous land. We've made a little bit of progress. I then go start traveling and I thought everything was going great, right? Is that a pig? At this moment, I realized Herobrine was infecting more mobs. I had to ignore it for now and finish making stone tools. Day 2, we ended up finding the village, although it was completely destroyed. I went inside and slayed new infected mobs as well as looked around. It was abandoned. To my luck though, I found a disc in the ashes and thought maybe it's important, so I went and found a player and decided to place the disc inside. Herobrine's mission is to destroy all of Minecraft in the next 100 days. Every single day he gets stronger and someone has to stop him. How am I going to do this? Herobrine is literally unstoppable. Everyone has their biggest fear, and this was mine, so we need a plan. So I decide to go and leave the village, and on day 3, I start traveling to find a home. We should start with the easy things and then move to the harder ones. Luckily, after a few days, I finally found a place to build my base. It seemed peaceful. There was land, mountains, 2 volcanoes on each side. It seems friendly. I then go and climb up the hill and went and mined a chunk out of the mountain. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna build the Notch Temple, but better. I kept mining out the roots of the chunk and then found this really weird block. What even is this? Wait, I can make a pickaxe with it? I went and tested it and saw that it already smelted the block for me. I went and used it to mine the rest of the chunk and definitely knew we had to visit the caves after this. Alright, the first room is done. I then go and use wooden planks to decorate it and finally finish. So stage 1 complete. Day 8. Now we need to make our way down to a cave. Did I just break my leg going down that? Yes, but we need to strengthen ourselves up. I go travel through the biome, grabbing local resources and searching for a cave, and then see probably the most enormous cave I've ever seen. Yeah, I slowly walk down into the cave, but then almost hesitate to go in. To be fair, I have no armor. What if I die? I may be a god, but Herobrine could be down there. I still knew I had to go in now. I literally walk in and become a straight demon. Not even kidding. I was grabbing new ores around left, right, center, slaying mobs. It was looking good here. Hey yo, why is that there? There was this yellow key, and also this massive entrance towards the door, which was yellow. But I still had to go through 50% of this cave. I go and open my crafting table and decide to make armor. I also use my lightning to create these frost crystals, which gave me very strong armor. Although a horde of zombies came to attack me, I realized it wasn't worth it. I had to run now. Bro, I'm on 3 hearts. Ooh. I go and run through to the end of the cave and luckily made it out. I instantly start running home. I go and climb up the wall and make it inside the temple. If we go in, we're gonna die. There's no way we're going back. I went back to the cave. Is this a dumb idea? Yes, but that's not the point. I also wanted to at least have some food and some resources first, so why not apples? After that, I made it back to the cave. I was actually really scared of going back, but that made me want to go back even more. Also, all the zombies had disappeared. It fell off, but I got to the dungeon door and unlocked it. I then walked through the dungeon entrance, and to my right, I see a giant mutant zombie staring at me. So that was what was behind here. One thing I knew was I have to be careful. I go and use my lightning to deal a little bit of damage and then go for the strike. We were already winning, although he wasn't having it and summons our army of the undead. He was angry. Come on. That was so close. What? Wait, no. The zombie was now so low. I go and fire my lightning and deliver the final blow. Yes! I then placed lava to go burn his body, and to be honest, I was kind of proud of myself. It was over. Well, the mutant zombie actually ended up dropping this journal. I didn't even know what was inside, but I just thought I'd get home first. I was walking back and saw how trashed my temple looked. Notchy boy isn't tolerating this. Okay, what if we just... We were making small improvements to the base, but we actually needed stairs too, so I started building them right away. I also didn't realize we needed more area in our temple. We should probably build a furnace room. How did that even get there? Okay, I don't know, but we ended up finishing the furnace room. I also realized I could make gooey apples, which meant I could start a golden apple farm, which was really good. I ended up planting some seeds I got as well, and knew these apples would be so good once they're done. Day 13, I was sick of waiting. I wanted to see what was inside that journal. I go and grab it and finally walk outside to read what was in there.
Dear mutant zombie, the mutant zombie army was ready to take over Notch's temple. Since Herobrine has slain Notch, we have moved in, and now we can take over the land that roams around.
Herobrine had an army and everyone thought I died. That was really bad. I put the book away and just went to harvest more apples. I was actually really sad. Like, what if the world thought I gave up on them? I knew my next goal would be defeating the skeleton, but for now I went back to my base and got harassed by like 100 phantoms. Ow. What the fuck? The next day I realized we needed to get stronger if we wanted to even get close to killing this mutant skeleton. So let's go to this pillage. And as you can see, my XP level went up by 1. We need to get to level 20 by day 20 to unlock our powers. The next day I found a village with actually alive villagers. I also found a blacksmith, which I instantly made my best friend. Hey man, how's it going? I go in, take some of his diamonds, so I knew it was official after that. He then realized I was Notch and took me to a room with a chest. Another book? This wasn't an ordinary book. It was actually codes to a pillager castle that has been attacking them. We help villagers, we get our levels, win-win situation. So I started traveling. This was really important to me. I wanted to show the world that I haven't given up on them. I go and see the pillager castle, got closer, and then opened the front door. Ooh! I go, build up, and start shooting lightning towards the pillagers. I end up taking the guards down, but then a ravager comes and charges out. Deadly beast, weak armor, it could kill me with 2 hits. No. I run, then swim across a lake to get distance. I then grab my lightning rod and finally hit the ravager. Luckily, I slayed it. This was the perfect time to go inside. It turns out there wasn't even a king, so I took down the remaining pillagers and stole their loot. I was happy, I saved the village, and even made it to 20 XP levels. I knew after that, I could actually travel home because I was proud. Notch is back. We are pretty close to unlocking our next power. I continued traveling home, and once we made it inside, I unlocked our next power, the Convert wand, which lets me purify the land that was around me as well as kill hostile mobs on it. So guys, what if we just... I stopped purifying my base right away. Now we don't even have to worry about mobs coming inside and attacking us. Like, look at this guy. Look, he can't get through. Wait, we unlocked 2 generators? Well, that's weird. We needed diamonds for an enchantment table, but we still need obsidian too. Yeah, let's climb a volcano. This was very dangerous, but Herobrine was getting stronger. He's only 80 days away from destroying the world. So I climbed to the volcano and see the lava's filled to the top. I just placed water and mined the obsidian. After that, we got enough and I literally just left. I then got home, crafted an enchantment table, complete diamond armor, and enchanted it all. We now got stronger and things were looking great. Day 22, I just decided to go down to the ground and noticed the goblin seeds have turned into gold apple saplings. To be honest, I was happy. We made progress, worked on our base, things were looking good. Until later when I find a cow that has been infected. This is really bad. I went and killed all the infected cows and realized how serious this is. I need to actually defeat Herobrine. His powers were getting stronger. If we wanted to compete, we would need to get stronger too. I thought the caves would be the best place to start. So I went in and explored the cave, grabbing new ores, and was really determined to take Herobrine down. I also prioritized trying to get iron for an anvil. Although the infected mobs didn't stop at just that cow. We went further in the cave and noticed some zombies were infected too. I honestly didn't know how to react. I kind of blamed myself, but also blamed them. I just wanted to get out the cave, honestly. I just thought it was the best thing to do, so I decided to walk back to my base and think of what we need to do next. What was that? Oh! Herobrine found me, my temple, and my home. I knew things were about to get deadly, so I ran back to the base as fast as possible. Although it was too late. Lightning was appearing everywhere. At that moment, I knew he was here.
Don't try! You cannot stop me!
Herobrine runs up towards me and starts to attack. I try to defend myself, but I get blinded by his powers. I lose track of where I'm going and fall off the stairs and see hundreds and hundreds of Herobrines looking straight at me. I was confused. It turns out Herobrine was making me hallucinate and tried to kill me. He got angry that I got away, so he started getting close up and tried to attack me, getting me super low, but I just get away from mining down. Once I thought it was safe, I mined out the floor, but I was so wrong. No, no. I woke up in the middle of a massive crater. I only just survived, but I knew I had to get out before mobs find me, so I mined upwards and tried to get out. Honestly, I felt so disappointed. How was I going to defeat Herobrine if he nearly just killed me like that? Eventually, I made it out of the cave, but I just saw how destroyed the base really was. That looks terrifying. I kind of felt like I lost everything. My base was literally griefed again for like the second time. Now, there's one thing I knew. I wanted revenge. I go walk into the furnace room and grab the journal. We knew one crucial piece of information, and that's from the journal we found out that the mutant skeleton lives inside the Notch temple. Now, I was determined to kill him. I go gear up, make arrows, and start traveling to kill him. Yeah, I didn't do that. I was scared. I mean, why don't we just stay at our temple and fix it? I went and rebuilt my stairs, but also checked on the sub button. Yeah, it's okay. I go and patch up the floor with planks, and then after that, things started to get weird at home. All those saplings have grown. The Notch apple trees finally grew, which meant we had gold apples. So I went and harvested a few, although right next to it, there was something else. What even is that? What is this? I don't know, but it had some new tools as well as some ore. I was so confused, so I went back up inside my house and saw a sign as well. You need these. You don't know what's coming. Sign the welder. New tools? A welder? What? Things aren't adding up. All this made me decide to leave my base. I had new goals. Kill the mutant skeleton and find the welder. Okay, we found the Notch temple. Oh my... Did I have a voice crack from fear? Maybe, because I arrived and the temple was covered by lava and more destroyed. I go and parkour over the lava and make it to the center, noticing wither skeletons guarding the temple. I had to take them down so I could get to the top as fast as I can. I take the last one down and arrive to the corner and start building out. I noticed a water source that was in the distance, so I built over and made it to the top. I then see that there's an entrance to the mutant skeleton's home on the side, so I start parkouring over by jumping on the stone on the side and jump into the water. We had made it to the entrance. I was geared up, a little scared, but I was ready, so I entered through the hallway and found the mutant skeleton's lair.
You will die, Notch.
The battle begins. He tries to shoot me with his bow, so I use my lightning to strike back.
You cannot stop me.
The fight was challenging. None of my arrows or attacks were dealing any damage. I started to hide behind the fire and the flames inside the temple, trying to avoid as many shots as I can from him. Once I had the opportunity, I tried to get closer, but he infected me with a poison arrow. No.
Herobrine and I will destroy you.
I was low, but I'm not going to let that happen.
Wait, stop.
At this moment, I realized that his weak point was his chest. All I needed was one hit.
Wait, no.
I defeated the mutant skeleton. I was relieved and went to check his chest and noticed he had gold apple saplings as well as an emerald one. I took them all and left the temple. Immediately as I left, I could already tell that the temple was cleansed. I was so happy. Maybe one day I'll be able to go back. My plan now is to go home. I had to leave. We were now only a few days away from unlocking our next power. We may have a problem. While traveling home, I realized we had tons of bread, but absolutely no apples at all. So I decided to go searching for an apple biome, and found one. This is the apple jackpot. I grabbed more and more apples, although I stopped once I started hearing someone using an anvil. I went and investigated, then found someone's cabin, so I went to get a closer look. Turns out someone was there. Wait, are you the welder who put that sign up? Hey, did you make this? What do you mean, no? So we found the welder. Yeah, he was a little shy, but you know what? I'm like that around new people too. He also said if I was able to grab the right materials, he would be able to make more than this notch sword he gave me. So he said to come back in a few days to find out what I need. Things were looking good until I had a new problem appear. Guys, are those mobs infected? They were infected, alright. I thought it was just those creepers, so I took them out of their misery and then saw this. It was the village we helped earlier. I literally ran into the village as fast as I can. I want wanted to make sure everyone was alright, but I was just too late. I go over to the blacksmith room and realized he was infected as well as countless other villagers. I did what I thought was best and took the blacksmith as well as other villagers out of misery. I know I could do nothing, so I just went and left the village. To be honest, I felt guilty. I feel like I always just don't make it in time. Our power was only 1 day away, so we had to keep going. Day 40, I unlock my next power, the life generator. I go and use them in the villager spawns. We could create an army. Maybe we could use this to defeat Herobrine. Nah, I'm just gonna ignore what I said because I thought of a better idea with this power. I go and place all my new apple saplings and create a farm. With this power, I thought this would be the best time to work on stage 2 of our Notch Temple. Building time. I go and break dirt and build stage 2 of the next room. We needed this so we could summon Liberians, because they can give us strong enchants. We now got Liberians, super powerful loot, and OP powers. We still had to defeat Herobrine. He was now only 50 days away from destroying the world. This cave is terrifying. We mined through the top of our temple and went and tried to find emeralds. Our goal was to get enchantment books, so I go grab some emeralds that were near me till we had enough. I hate cave noises so much. Steven, no! I didn't mean to do that. I went and got out the cave and walked back inside the temple. I go and trade for 2 fire aspect enchant books with the Liberian and then weld it onto my notch sword. I'm doing so much, but it feels like so little. Well, that's sad, but the welder probably knows what we need for the notch gear by now. I don't know if I can trust him. What if he's on Herobrine's side? But I need to get the loot. I went and grabbed some more apples on the way and finally made it back to the welder. I came up to him and asked about what materials I would need for better armor. He said the notch ore that I just dropped as well as enchanted golden apples. They were impossible to get until the welder told me otherwise. That's not happening. There was actually one place I could find them, the floating islands. Although that was the place I wanted to go the least. I kinda knew I had to go. The best thing to do was get home and gear up. So I entered the temple and grab loot from my chest, craft obsidian arrows, and then go down to my farm and go harvest golden apples. We were ready to go. We need to get to the ocean. Luckily there was one close by. It kind of felt stupid that I was a god and I was literally crafting a boat, but that's what Notchy Boy has to do. How else are we gonna get there? I started to travel. It was kind of just me going through water. There was a volcano that I thought was gonna blow up. No. Although I was happy to see it because I knew it was right next to the floating island. Things are about to be interesting. I travel towards the floating island and build up there by using planks. This led me towards a dungeon. I go and walk through it, opening the door, and notice that there was a Herobrine infected zombie. Was Herobrine here? I was confused. Since I thought Herobrine has infected the mobs, I went and left the dungeon and mined out the bottom of the floating island. We needed to find a new way to the top, although there was also notch ore on the bottom of the island. I went and mined some notch ore and thought about how to get to the top. I ended up just using a water bucket. I knew up here there were going to be more infected mobs, but I had everything. I was ready. The battle then begins. I see Herobrine minions all attacking at once. My plan was to take all of them down, but they were everywhere. Come on. Ooh. I tried to get as much distance from all of the mobs, just then to turn around and start attacking all of them, and finally slayed every single one. Besides this one, I still killed him anyway. They call me a little mischievous. But this zombie helped me notice that there was a door behind the tree. I went and investigated it to see what it was. It led me to a new room and into a dungeon room as well, which seemed familiar. I've been here before. It was my bedroom, the exact bedroom I had when I was a child. I shouldn't have came back. I went and left to see what was further down in the dungeon and saw a whole tribe of ancient villagers living in there. This is way too familiar. I then realized the villager who used to take care of me was now the leader. I was lost, so I asked what happened. The deadly beast known as the Whisperer was already here and stole the orb. Stop him before he gives it to Herobrine or the world is destroyed. Well, that was overwhelming. I didn't even know how to react. There was a new boss. I just went over the chest because they offered me the last gapples they had. We needed this for the armor, so I took them all. This is going to be hard. I have to defeat Herobrine, my brother. I went and left the floating island and traveled to the welder. I thought we should just go to his now. Not gonna lie, I just felt really overwhelmed by everything, so I just pretended to be happy around him. Hey, how did you get there? I told him I had everything he asked for, so he wanted me to follow him down into his blacksmith room. He wanted me to give him all the materials I gathered so he could make our gear. All I had to do was put the notch ore as well as the enchanted gapples into some hoppers, so I put them in and then left. Since he said it'd take a few days to make the armor, I just went and traveled home. I got back and didn't know how to fill. I just thought I might as well work on the third stage of the base. Alright, what if we make a stairway up to the notch face? I spent the next few days wanting to work on the third room in the notch temple head. I knew we should really be fighting the whisper, but I can't really force myself and we need to progress the base. I think we should start building the notch face, and I have no idea if this is going to end up bad. Okay, now that doesn't look too great, but we had to keep going. After that, I really wanted to build some rooms inside the temple face. I feel like our bedroom kind of sucks and I have no privacy, but this would work and we'd be able to finish our notch face. Until my pickaxe broke. Bro. Since we were like one day from my next power, I decided to stop for now, and the shape actually looked good. Day 60, I was waiting and then realized I had a new power, the power of flight. So I was curious and wanted to try my powers out. I go fly upwards in the air and go experiment. I could go as high as I want. Okay, I'm not gonna even lie, that was so fun. Yeah, but you know what wasn't fun? Herobrine. The welder would have finished our armor by now, so I grabbed some golden apples for our travel, then used my powers to float and flew without having a single worry. But not for long. While traveling, I encountered a complete biome made out of obsidian. I've never seen anything like it at all. I thought maybe I'll ask the welder what it is. Apple time! Day 61, I finally made it to the welder's home. I go down the ladder and notice he was there waiting for me. He ended up showing me that 50% of the notch armor was complete and it was super strong. I went and took both chest plate and the helmet, then the welder insisted I took this tool called a chunk miner. I was also curious about the corrupt biome. It turns out the whisperer was infecting land, which made me feel kinda guilty. I could have fought him, but I built my temple instead. At least we got the armor now. I then left and traveled back home. Day 63 to 66, some crazy things happened. I wanted to go make a lapis bow to fight the whisperer, but we had no lapis, so I thought this would be the perfect time to use a chunk miner. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. The pickaxe actually mines a whole chunk. I mined some more chunks, which eventually led me to a cave. I then saw some diamonds and tried to fly over to them, and literally almost died. I was just really good, so I survived. I then thought it would be a good idea to go further into the cave. I went and mined every lapis vein I need until I thought I had enough for the bow. After that, I fly out and actually admire this absolute piece of destruction I've created. Day 67 came off to a good start. We made an obsidian bow, placed a beacon from the floating island like a week ago, although the day just got progressively worse. I used my powers to get diamonds and then went and enchanted all my notch armor to the best enchants I could give. Now you may be wondering what went wrong. Well, this did. Where did that thunder come from? What are those? This is when I realized something very bad. Hostile and deadly mobs were able to get on my land. What if the biome I'm in is getting infected? It turns out I was right. My biome was getting infected by the whisperer. Without hesitation, I began traveling instantly. I flew over the mountains behind the temple and see pillagers and other mobs trying to stop me from finding them. I was actually angry. Like really, he was griefing my base. I wanted revenge, but I realized that was wrong. You know, villages and homes are just being destroyed everywhere. I was now more upset at myself. How did I not even consider who's been infected? I felt guilty, but I landed in the corrupted biome and traveled through it, trying to find anything close to the whisperer until I noticed a giant castle in a destroyed land. Maybe if I can kill him, I can save others. Now, our goal, you may ask, get the orb back. This may be a bit harder than I thought. In the castle here, there were hundreds of spawners spawning tons of skeletons. It was very painful, but we were making our way through. Yeah, until I let myself into a dead end with dozens of skeletons. They all started attacking each other, so I tried to sneak through and run through the hall without being too heavily hit. I just got out alive. Luckily, I made it out to the deck and found a stairway to the top of the castle where the whisperer was. Hello? The battle against the Whisperer begins. I try to get close and hit him with my sword, but he suddenly blinds me from his attacks. I tried a different approach, tried to go further away, but his damage just wasn't going down fast enough. I need to obtain the orb before Herobrine takes it from him. I start playing more risky, being close to the floor to hit more shots, and it was working. His health was going down incredibly fast. He tried to get higher in air, but that didn't work. I managed to pin him to the ground, and now he was super low. He was trying everything to avoid my attacks. I tried to pull a sneak attack while he was trapped, but he flings me far away from him. He only had 1 HP left. I knew it was time to end this. I run towards the Whisperer as fast as I can. And then slay the Whisperer. I was relieved, although I was still worried. He isn't holding the orb. I checked my inventory and saw nothing. I thought he might have left it in the castle. But when I flew over and arrived, I checked the chest. Nothing was there. Herobrine had already grabbed the orb. I then thought the best thing to do was just get home until I heard an explosion coming from the castle. Now, do I really trust some villagers that came from an evil castle? Yeah. Hey! It turns out the villagers had no home and most places were completely destroyed, so I thought I should try help them when I get to the temple. Also, because I'm helping them, they told me that Herobrine lives inside the end, but with a castle. That was good news, but I was just about to hit my breaking point. It's apple time. Now things really got bad. I thought it'd be the perfect time to actually get my armor, so I went to the welders until I saw his base was like completely destroyed. They didn't show mercy. I was genuinely scared, I won't lie. This was the most destroyed base I've ever seen. There was a sign that said he went into hiding, so I went down and checked the blacksmith room and used his crafting table to try craft the last 2 pieces of notch armor myself. And when I did that, I honestly just felt guilty. Maybe if I just killed Herobrine before, none of this would have happened. I swear I'm always just so close. Well, that's kinda sad, but we have been making progress, and I knew we needed to make more. We've built 3/4 of the temple, so now what we need to do is the face, and convert more of the area on our land. Although, I was at my breaking point. Let's try to build these villages. I wanted to just be fast, so I went and created a small farm as well as made some homes for the villagers. We had to keep going. I think we should add another village on the left side. I was actually kind of proud. We were able to give some villagers a safe home for the first time. I went through and made small homes for the villagers and then focused on the face of the temple. Oh! Ooh, we could actually die while building this. Luckily, I didn't have too much left, so I built the rest of the head and tried to layer it, and then finished the notched temple face. I was actually really happy with how it turned out. We had made so much progress from completing our temple. I considered just ending the night by enchanting all the new loot I got from the welder, and decided once it was dark enough to get into bed and sleep. But everything changed. Day 80, I woke up and thought, why don't we go outside? Considering what I wanted to do today. Whoa, what? Days and days travel past and hundreds of lightning bolts appear. What is happening? I look straight forward and see a giant Herobrine appear. I couldn't move. What's going on? After that, one of the volcanoes erupt. Then the second one does as well. I have to protect the temple before it's too late. I go and fly over to the volcano on the right side and see that the lava was heading straight to the village. I fly up and try to see anything I could do to stop it from spreading. While I was striking lightning, I realized my powers got stronger. The lava started to spread less. It turns out my lightning was dealing much more damage, and now I was able to create craters. That's when I realized I unlocked Ultra Lightning, which made my lightning deal more damage and have a wider spread. I then go to the next volcano and try to stop the lava from spreading to the other village. I struck lightning into the floor to create craters for the lava to go in, and was relieved when it started to work. All I knew is that this needed to stop now. I stopped the lava and the weather cooled down. I honestly just felt bad. We made so much progress with our base, but Herobrine had won. Day 82, we're nearly at the end. Herobrine's won. I've honestly given up. I just thought since there wasn't too long, I guess I'd just go work on my base. But then I realized I actually haven't made any progress. I've made 0. This whole time my goal has been to defeat Herobrine, but I've stopped myself and procrastinated from doing that. Every single boss fight or challenge, I focused on something else first. This got my friends killed, my home destroyed, and let them completely take over. I thought I was making progress in this world, but how have I been doing that if in 15 days there's no world left? things change now. I go up to my enchantment room and use my anvil to convert my Herobrine sword into a Herobrine slayer. This could deal lots of damage. After 90 days, I knew it was time. I'm not holding back. I grab everything I need, like all my gold apples, and prepare to leave the temple. We can't make any mistakes from now on. Okay, so if Herobrine lives in the inn, that means he will have to have his own stronghold to get there. From this, I knew my goal was to find Herobrine's stronghold. I keep traveling through countless biomes until I felt like I was getting closer. I knew it would have to be in a corrupted biome. I was filled with determination, confident, and knew I made dozens of mistakes, but this time things were different, and thankfully they were. I eventually found the biome I was looking for. Honestly, through this 100 days, I've made so many mistakes, and thankfully I was ready to change that because we ended up finding Herobrine's stronghold. We're here. I swam through the water, getting closer to the temple, and honestly was scared. I nearly hesitated to actually go inside, but I forced myself to go through the stronghold entrance, going through the dark hallway, and encounter Herobrine zombie guards protecting the room. I went and used my Herobrine slayer and exploded the floor, killing them. After that, I realized I had to parkour up to the next room, so I run and jump across it as safely as I can. Having more infected mobs attack me every minute, I eventually killed all the zombies and decide to leave the phantoms for now. I go up and remember that Herobrine has the orb. He was close to completely ending the world. We have to hurry up. I kept going through, honestly with a sick feeling in my gut, worried and scared, but I was ready. We found the ender portal room. At this moment, I realized I made real progress. I go down to the ender portal and walk closer, being hesitated from the thoughts in my head. What if I just go back? I don't have to go. I don't have to go. Not this time. I wake up inside the end, unaware if I would live, but knew I had one goal. Herobrine was only minutes away from destroying the world. I go enter his kingdom. He was at the very top, so I keep going up, taking down mobs and going up the final stairs. And I see Herobrine at the very top. I go strike him with my sword and start attacking him. He then fights back and pushes me further down the castle. He wasn't speaking. He wasn't doing anything, but he had no chance. I go and use my Herobrine slayer and shoot him up into the air. He was now low. We're about to take him down and defeat Herobrine. Or so I thought. It actually turned out he was alive, but it made me realize something deeper. I have to kill my brother. The truth is, I was so sad. I tried to do everything to stop him, firing more arrows, trying to take down his army, but he was getting too strong. Please can we just not fight? He was only seconds away from completely destroying the world. It was now or never. Did we win? I woke up in the middle of the end, confused about what happened, until I realized we did it. We defeated Herobrine. I go over to the ender portal, actually feeling like I could smile. I was genuinely so happy. We did more than just win that battle. We won a battle with ourselves. At this moment, all I wanted to do was just get home, but not for what you would expect. I arrived back home, seeing my whole temple completely finished, and decided to leave all of that behind. It just seemed right. I've slayed Herobrine, overcame my problems, and now I'm ready for a new journey. So do that thing you're always scared to do, because you may regret not doing it at all.